Always good to have Kyle Irving on. Kyrie's cousin from the Sporting News covers the basketball for us at the Olympics. Kyle, good to see you again, buddy. I thought that we were just talking about the game. That game was epic yesterday. And we'll talk about the game with France in a minute, but let's go back to what you thought were some of the differences. I thought Embiid's 19 was heavy. I thought his lit enthusiasm late in the game, getting emotional about Joker's travel, getting fired up, diving on the floor. The game was very violent away from the ball. They weren't calling anything away from the ball, and I think he liked that. And I thought Durant's defense, when he finally came in the game and contributed at the end, was huge. I thought Booker's three was huge at the top of the key off of the foul on Joker after the KD three, count the three and the foul and the ball and the three from the top of the key. Those were some of the keys for me. And obviously Curry's shooting was phenomenal.
Yeah, there was also that stretch where Steph had a fast break layup. LeBron went down for a fast break layup, and then Steph had a steal and had another fast break layup. And right then and there, it felt like this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for LeBron and Steph to be teammates. They were the two that stepped up in that moment. Like you said, I thought Joel Embiid on the offensive end, really gave them some energy at the beginning of that fourth quarter. He still had a couple of lapses on defense that led to open Serbia threes. But as you mentioned, that team was, shooting over 50% from three for the majority of the game. And then all of a sudden, it's not like they stopped getting good looks. They just stopped hitting the open looks,
right.
Which was pretty shocking. They really missed an opportunity to put the USA away there. The other play that sticks out in my mind is Carmelo Anthony's on the sidelines. He's kind of coaching him up. Kevin Durant has the ball at the top of the key. He gets Stephen Curry sets him a screen. He gets the switch that he wants. And Kevin Durant is at the top of the key with USA up by 2 points on an island. And I don't think there's anybody in the entire country that didn't expect that shot to go down. We've just seen him hit that high hesitation crossover so many times, straight into a confident, smooth pull-up jumper to put the United States up by 4 and really put the game away. So there were a lot of signature moments. And like you said, that was fiery. Jokic is screaming on the sidelines. I've never really seen him react like that in an NBA game. Joel Embiid was getting all fired up. You could tell LeBron kind of kicked it into another gear. It really had all the makings of what felt like an instant classic.
I've never seen Bogdanović play like that in my life. You've seen him hit shots in the NBA. He looks like a guy that in the NBA, to me, just a guy that's getting paid a lot of money to shoot threes. And he doesn't care. He just goes through the motions, in my opinion. But I got to tell you, he played that game like he was going to the electric chair. My man was all out playing. And I think he was really bummed out when they lost. He legitimately looked like he needed a shrink. He was crying after it was over. That guy played his ass off and had a 20-piece, and he had some huge shots. And then I just couldn't believe in the fourth how they missed 9 straight threes after they had hit so many perfect off-screen threes. They were getting the cleanest looks. And their ball movement for the open man, they were doubling Joker at times and leaving a guy wide open every time. And it's a kiss of death with that guy, Joker, when he finds the open man. And they were shooting corner pocket, switch, all net splash threes. I couldn't believe they went cold, Kyle, honestly.
Yeah, that's why the one where, I was just talking to you about it before, Dobrich was wide open on the right wing. Serbia was, I think, up by 4 points with 2.5 minutes left. He had been hitting those all night. The ball's in mid-flight, right. And I'm like, wow, they're really going to lose this game. And then he somehow missed. And that kind of, again, catalyzed the United States comeback. But, to your point, that's kind of the, the risk that you play against Nikola Jokic. He's so gifted as a passer that if you double team him, he's going to find the open man like a sixth sense. It's incredible. There was a play in the fourth quarter also where I think it was LeBron James came to double from the baseline. Someone cut, it might have been Bogdanović, cut baseline. And Jokic, before LeBron could even get there on the double team, threw a pass behind his head right to Bogdanović for an easy layup. But, Bogey was a killer yesterday. It seemed like he gave himself a little bit of added motivation. He was talking trash with Melo courtside. And, I know Melo was probably letting Serbia hear it back in 2016 when the United States beat them in the group stage and then smoked them by 30 points in the gold medal match. And Bogey was on that team as well. So maybe that's why he had a little bit more oomph to his game. But, like you said, he was a huge, huge reason why they had built the lead they did. And then, those are real tears at the end. Like Serbia has to feel like they really let that one slip away. And that's where, the United States, like with the momentum that they're carrying going into the gold medal match, I don't know how they could, fall flat on their face after a game like that.
It was, for me, it's like the 80 hockey team. They won the game against Russia, and then they had to turn around and win another game. And they had to come from behind in that game, too. I feel like they have to go finish the deal. Like, obviously, there's one more step tomorrow against the home team playing on their home court in front of their fans in Paris. How will they handle the French and Wembanyama?
Yeah, I think that's, this is a France team that is surging all of a sudden. They didn't look very good at the beginning of the tournament. They made that lineup change where Rudy Gobert, originally we thought it was due to an injury. He had that finger thing that he was dealing with in the first round against Canada. But turns out as, they continue to move on, it was a head coaching decision from Vincent Collet to, just bench the 4-time defensive player of the year in favor of playing a faster, more versatile lineup. So now we're going to see the United States have to try and match up with, Wemby is the focal point of that team. But, they have to really take advantage of France's lackluster guard play. Frank Ntilikina is not going to get the job done against guys like Stephen Curry, against guys like Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, who's played well. Isaiah Cordonier is someone who has been shooting the lights out in this tournament so far, but he's not really a known scorer. I saw someone tweet the other day that he only scored 18 or more points 3 times the entire EuroLeague season. He's done it twice already in back-to-back games in the knockout round for France. So, if you put a hand in that guy's face, he's going to start missing shots. And then with Wemby, I'm curious to see how they defend him because they could throw multiple bodies at him. I'm sure LeBron's going to get a look at him. I'm sure Bam Adebayo with that second unit is going to get a look at him. Maybe this is where Jason Tatum could come back into the rotation and maybe disrupt Wemby a little bit. But, he's the focal point of that team. And if you can slow down him, then, they're going to have to really rely on the other guys to step up. And that's why I like USA to get the job done.
So, one of my favorite parts of that game yesterday was when LeBron was on Joker late and he was banging with him in the low block and Joker was banging and giving him the shoulder and then he did the muscles. Yep. And then, but yep. He really banged with him like 6'8", 260. Like, you cannot just push me around, brother. Like, he pushes people around. And he usually goes right around Embiid with quickness. He's got that hook spin, but he couldn't do it against LeBron. He was banging it. They eventually called the foul, but LeBron he wanted all the smoke. What about the ladies, Kyle? A blowout win today over Australia. Breanna Stewart was incredible. I thought Copper played great. Young, Wilson, they all played great. All had double figures. They're waiting for to find out who they're going to play in the gold medal game, but they look unstoppable.
Yeah, they're really impressive. And I'm really impressed with Cheryl Reeve, who, made that switch. She gave Diana Taurasi, her time in the spotlight as she's going for, another gold medal in the most by a women Olympian, I believe in USA basketball history, breaking the tie with Sue Bird. But, she could have stuck with the same starting lineup. They've won 60 straight games. She didn't have to do all that much, but she decided to move Diana Taurasi from the starting lineup, insert Jackie Young in starting lineup, and Jackie Young has been incredible in back-to-back games. A huge reason why the ball is moving the way that it has been, why USA has been able to score as easily as they have been. And then I talked about it last time I was on here, but the biggest difference is A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Like, those two are so big and so athletic and so mobile that other countries just don't have bigs that are versatile enough to keep up with those two. A'ja Wilson had, another 4 blocks and 2 steals today. Like you said, Breanna Stewart was making the wheels turn on offense. That's a team that, again, 60 straight wins. They're going for a 61st straight win and an 8th consecutive gold medal. It just doesn't even sound right to say. That's just a different level of dominance.